Hello dear students, welcome back to your science classes. How are you all? I hope you all are healthy and doing well. So students, I'm your science educator again here with the new chapter. And today we have chapter number 3, which is about feeding habits of animal. So first of all, we have to understand, ma'am, what does mean by feeding? So feeding generally means the eating habits we have, okay? And these eating habits, whose eating habits we have to learn in this chapter, particularly animal. So before starting this chapter, let's have a look on their objective first. So first of all, we have to read about plant eaters, then we have to flesh eaters, then animals that eat both plants and animals, and next we have to talk about the teeth of animals, and then end of the moment we have to discuss about some more feeding habits. So these are the learning objective we have for chapter number 3. Let's get started. We observe various animals around us consuming food. For instance, cows graze on grass, cats hunt and catch rats, frogs capture insects, lions pounce on deer, squirrels eat nuts, and dogs chew on bones. Different animals have distinct preferences. Different animals have distinct preferences. So what we understand here, for example, we have a lot of kind of foods, right? We have dal chawal, we have rajma rice, we have chole bhature, we have dosa, we have momos, right? But your choice and my choice is different, right? Some of you are vegetarian and some of you are non-vegetarian, right? So similarly in animals it also differentiates. Some of them are vegetarian, some of them are non-vegetarian, and some of them are combination of both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So we have to read about their classification, these categories. As we here discussed that cow graze on grass, which is a vegetarian thing, right? Cats hunt and catch rat. So what happened there? Cats hunt and catch rat means it is a non-vegetarian thing. So according to the animal, the food choices are accordingly shifted. So they have different distincts and preferences. Okay, so they have different preferences. They have different choices. Next, animals are living things that require food and water to sustain themselves. As we already discussed, all living things need food and water for their survival. Similarly, animals also need that, right? So grow and move. So food provides them with strength and energy needed for their activities. While plants can produce their own food through photosynthesis, animals lack this capability. They depend on either plants or other animals as their source of nourishment. So we already know that if plants have this capability, so they can move their food their own with the help of photosynthesis process. But animals cannot do that. So just because of that, animals have to depend for their food, for their nourishment to the other plants or for other animals. So let's discuss it. So according to their nourishment choices, the source of nourishment, the animals are classified into different categories. So the first category we have plant eaters. Plant eaters means vegetarian, and it means we have herbivorous plant. So those animals who eat only plants based things, those are called your herbivorous. Animals that feed on plants are called plant eaters or herbivorous. They eat different parts of plants. So it means they have to eat plants only, but there is a choice for different plants. For different animals, what are their choices of parts they need to eat of the particular plant? So cow, goats, deer, horses and zebras eat grass generally. Bats, squirrel and bulbuls eat generally fruit. Pigeons, sparrows and some other birds eat seeds or grains, and grasshoppers, snails and earthworms eat leaves. So some insects suck the sap of plants. So what we understand here, they all eat plant, but they choose different part of the particular plant. Next we have flesh eaters. Flesh eaters means non-vegetarian or it means carnivorous. Okay. So an animal which hunts other animals for food, it's called a predator. So what here happened? For example, a lion choose deer to eat, right? So the lion is a predator and the deer is a prey. So the hunted one is the prey. Plant eaters are the prey of many animal eaters. So those animals who eat generally, those animals who are herbivorous, they generally food for the carnivorous animals. So animals that feed only on other animals are called flesh eaters or carnivorous. So those animals who eat only flesh of other animals, who eat generally other animals, we call them flesh eaters or carnivorous. So lions, tigers, and leopards eat the flesh of zebra, deer, goat, horse. Frogs, toads, and lizards eat insects. Snakes swallow their prey whole. Lunchers, eagles, kites, hyenas eat flesh or remains of the dead animal. So similarly in herbivores, that as they choose their part, as they choose the part of a particular plant, similarly they choose a particular thing, a particular organ for a animal. Next we have animals that eat both plants and other animals. So here we have a combination of herbivorous and carnivorous, and we call them omnivorous. So animals that feed on both plants and animals are known as omnivorous. Hence feed on grains, worms, and termites. Ducks feed on grass, snails, and insects. Bears feed on honey and fish. So what we understand here, bears feed honey, which is a plant-based thing, and fish, which is a animal thing, right? So both the things eaten by bears, it means bear is a kind of example of omnivorous. Monkeys, rat, dogs, cat, pigs, and human beings are all omnivorous. So human beings generally eat plant-based things, and all so some human beings eat plant-based things. Some of them we are vegetarian as well as non-vegetarian, and here we have a combination in human beings as well, where they eat both the things, the vegetarian things and non-vegetarian things. So all human beings are also considered, some of them human beings, exceptional cases are always there, so some of the human beings are also considered as omnivorous. Okay, and monkeys, rats, and dogs are also like this. Next we have to discuss about the teeth of animal. So mammals and some other animals have teeth for biting, tearing, and grinding the food. The teeth are found in upper and lower jaw. So for eat something we need teeth. Without teeth we cannot biting, we cannot do tearing, we cannot do grinding. So this teeth part is divided into two parts. Okay, the first one, this is our upper jaw, and the second one, this is our lower jaw. Okay, while you open your mouth, in front of mirror, so you can easily see your upper jaw and your lower jaw. Okay, herbivores have teeth for cutting and grinding. So in herbivores, because they want to eat, they eat generally plant-based things. So first they need cutting and then they need to grind it. So they cut grass and leaves with their front teeth. So they generally cut grass and leaves with the help of their front teeth. They have grinding teeth at the back of chewing the plant food. So carnivores have sharp and pointed teeth for tearing flesh and strong, sharp grinding teeth at the back. So generally we have carnivores. They have long teeth at the back to grind the flesh of another animals. Next we have omnivores, have three kinds of teeth. So when we have a combination of herbivores and carnivores, which is omnivorous, they have three kinds of teeth. So first of all, they have biting and cutting thing, which is needed by the herbivores. Okay. Second, tearing the flesh. So the next thing which is related to the carnivores, so they need that also. Third one, which is only for omnivorous, is for chewing and that is for chewing and grinding the food. So end of the moment they need their teeth for chewing and grinding the food. And the last we have rodents. Rodents, rabbits, rats, and squirrels are rodents. They have very sharp front teeth that help them bite fruits and seeds. Such animals are also called gnawing animals. Gnawing animals. So what we see, if you see in rabbit, they have teeth in front of their mouth, the two big teeth. So with the help of this teeth, they can easily eat any kind of thing. You can also see this kind of teeth in your rats, in squirrels. So what we call them, these kind of animals are referred as growing animals, and we call them rodents. Next we have birds. Birds have no teeth. They don't have any kind of teeth. They have beak. So with the help of their beak, they just pick up the food like seeds, grain, nuts, small worms, and fish and insects, and they just swallow the food. So it means they just take their food and just they pass directly to the stomach only. They don't need to chewing, they don't need to grinding for their food. Next we have lizards, snakes, and frogs. So some animals swallow their food whole. That is why these animals do not have biting or chewing teeth. So have you seen ever the lizard in your home? So what they do, they have a long tongue, and with the help of their long tongue, they just catch their food directly inside the stomach. Next, we have some more feeding habits. So what are the other feeding habits in animals? Chewing the cud. Some herbivores such as cows, goats, sheep, giraffes, and zebras cut and bite the grass or leaves and swallow them. So what they do, they just swallow the leaves inside their stomach directly. They don't need to chew them, grind them at that moment. After that, when they find a safe place for them, they just proceed with cutting movement. How they do? They chew it and again swallow it. So this is called chewing the cud. So cud chewing animals are called ruminants. What we call them? Ruminants, who just swallow the food, and after some time they just use the swallow food and chewing again and again. That is referred as ruminants. Next we have sucking of nectar. So honeybees and butterflies suck the nectar from flowers. They have a long tube-like tongue called proboscis for sucking. So we also know that honeybees suck the nectar from the flowers. So how they do that? With the help of their tube-like tongue, what we call them proboscis. Next we have sucking blood. So mosquitoes and bugs suck the blood of humans and animals by inserting their sharp and pointed mouth parts into the skin. So generally see mosquito, they have a long pointed like tongue, we can say pointed like thing in front of their face. So what they do, they just bug inside our body and suck the blood. Okay, that is also refer, because this is also their food. So this is also another habit for animals. Next we have lapping up. Animals like dogs and cats lap up milk with their tongue. So what they do, they lap up milk with their tongue. Next, sucking milk from mothers. So young babies of mammals, including human beings, suck milk from their mother. So this sucking process you generally see in cows, in buffaloes. What they do, they just suck milk from their mother, and similarly in human beings also the same process is happening. So students, this is the end of your chapter. I hope so you like this chapter and understood it very well. Now I'm going to meet you in your next class. Till that, bye bye. Have a good day.